Yo, what's going on, y'all? Trouble T. Roy, hit, don't get hit boxing talk. Back with another one. Feel me? So, I don't know if y'all heard the news today, this morning. It is now Friday afternoon, September 29th, 2023. All right. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys heard the news. It's the afternoon over here. I heard this news this morning, but if you have heard, we are supposedly getting Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk. Go ahead and clap it up, y'all. All right, that's enough. Now, my whole thing about this is I just told a buddy of mine on Twitter, I told him just like I've been telling everybody else today. Well, a couple of people I talked to, I've been asleep most of the day at work last night. But I'm treating this fight just like I treated Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. I know people are getting tired of hearing about Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, but I ain't gonna talk about the fight. I'm just using it as a comparison to how I feel about this fight, basically. I think I felt a lot stronger about Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, because it was a fight that I really wanted. But I also wanted this fight maybe a year ago or so. At least after the Oleksandr Usyk's second fight against Anthony Joshua in the rematch. Since that fight, I really wanted this fight to happen because it is the heavyweight division, y'all. It's the biggest division in the sport, and I don't just mean by size, but I mean in every way. Pause. This is a fight that is for history. This is set for history. This is for undisputed. This is for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. That means the WBC belt, the WBO belt, WBA belt, and the IBF belt. All four belts that are recognized as the big belts in this era. This would be the first undisputed heavyweight championship fight. We would have the first undisputed heavyweight champion of the four belt era. We would have the first heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis coming out of the three belt era. So this is big. We've been waiting for an undisputed fight since Lennox Lewis. I think that was early 2000s, like 2001 or something like that, when he became undisputed. It was real early. I think I was still in middle school, if I'm correct. I was still in middle school when he became undisputed. So that tells you how long we've been waiting for this undisputed fight. How long we've been waiting for an undisputed heavyweight champion. So this is big stuff. So, I mean, this is good stuff if it's really happening. I keep saying if it's happening only because, I mean, it's not necessarily just a matter of, oh, this is such a big fight that it's a good chance it might not happen just because it's like that big of a fight or whatever. It's because of Tyson Fury. I ain't gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. It's because of Tyson Fury and his little gimmicks and antics when it comes to the sport of boxing. Now, what I have also come to, or what has also been brought to my mind, I should say, is that it's possible that this fight has been forced upon Tyson Fury, and this is like I said, this is coming not only just from my own opinion, but from others as well, is that this fight is possibly being forced upon Tyson Fury because this Francis Ngannou fight is not being, it ain't pushing the way I guess Fury was hoping it would push. It ain't bringing in the viewership, I guess, or the pre-viewership. It's not getting the attention that that Fury and his team were hoping it would bring. And it makes sense. You know, they're saying possibly it's not bringing in the attention, so this is kind of their way of possibly trying to motivate people to buy into the Usyk fight, because, you know, Fury is the guy who's talking about he wants the big money. He's only doing big money fights. He didn't really care about Undisputed like that. He just wants money. He wants to be one of the top guys in was it Forbes or whatever you call that shit, you know, as far as the amount of money he's making. He want to be like top 10 or something like that. We want to make the Forbes list. That's what they say. Make the Forbes list, which I believe people like, I believe Anthony Joshua has been on there a few times, I believe. As far as sports, you know what I'm saying? As far as people, you know, athletes. I believe Anthony Joshua's been on there, and I believe Canelo's been on there quite a few times, if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure Mayweather, back when he was still active, was on that list as well as an athlete. And from what I understand, he's been wanting to make the Forbes list. That's been his most recent goal, as far as I've understood. So he figured that, I guess, getting into UFC and crossing over to not fighting in the UFC, but bringing UFC fighters to boxing, people as like Francis Ngannou, and he also mentioned John Jones. I guess he must have figured that people wanted to see that. But somebody like me, who I consider a hardcore boxing fan, still casual in a lot of ways, because I'm still not able or don't have as much knowledge as far as who everybody is, which I don't think anybody knows who everybody is in boxing. But I'm still learning about a lot of people that, you know, I still talk to a lot of people, and they give me a lot of insight on a lot of new fighters, old fighters, here, this, that, and the other. So as much as I, you know, can get into boxing, it's still a lot for me to learn. There's still a lot that I'm always learning, and that's one thing I don't feel will ever stop. So that's a whole nother story right there. But yeah. But I guess as far as this whole thing with him crossing over to fight against MMA fighters in the boxing ring is not really paying off the way that he thought it would, which I expected, because me personally, like I said, being the hardcore boxing fan I am, I never asked for that fight. That is not a fight that I asked for, you know. And I know it's been this big thing that about, you know, the four guys in the heavyweight division, the four top guys, which is Tyson, Fury, Oleksandr Usyk, Deontay Wilder, and Anthony Joshua, apparently all avoiding each other. You know, it's been this for the last, I don't know, couple months at least, that where it's become a big talk. Actually, the last few months, because it's been back and forth between these four guys fighting each other, which actually Fury and Wilder already fought 3 times, but I'm pretty sure if Fury sees the right price, he'll fight Wilder again, and vice versa with Wilder. But, you know, it's been back and forth, so it's been a lot of duck talk and a lot of this, that, and the other. And me personally, I said Fury was ducking. I said he was ducking Usyk, and I did say that he was ducking Joshua. I said that, and I still, down deep in my heart, still feel that way. But if this fight is truly being made, and it truly does happen, which, like I said, I won't believe until that first bell rings. Until then, I still call him a duck. Because he just always has these antics and, you know, things like that going on behind everything that he does, which is what makes it hard for me to trust him. You know, this wouldn't be the first time that he's done something in his career where you think he's going to do one thing, then he switches up and does something else, and then he acts like he doesn't even care. Like, yeah, well, you know what I'm saying? That, like the Wilder situation, the third fight and all that stuff. You know, he made it seem like he was not trying to make that fight. It went through the arbitration shit with the courts and all that stuff, all that shit. And then at the end of the day, the Wilder wins that shit. And Fury just acts like he never gave a fuck in the first place. So this whole time we're sitting here thinking, oh, Fury wants something bigger. Fury wants to move forward. Fury wants, And then next thing you know, of course he had to fight him because that was that's what the court said. But at the end of the day, it was almost like that same week he went in, or that whole time they went through that, Fury went in on Wilder about this, that, and the other, talking all this shit and making everybody feel like, yeah, he ain't even really about that third fight, because obviously it didn't make sense to happen, with the ass beating that Wilder got from him. But all the way to get back to the last week before that fight was officially made again, that third fight was made again, and then he'd all say it's like he never even gave a fuck in the first place, almost like he was just kind of just giving everybody, like pulling everybody along for a ride, you know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of thing with Fury I've noticed over the few years since he's been back. It's like that's kind of his thing. He just likes to drag everybody along for a ride, and I think that's bullshit. You got people thinking one thing just to do a whole nother thing that nobody asked for, and vice, shit like that. So it's annoying. But anyways, so yeah, it seems like this whole thing with him doing the crossover fighting with MMA guys or whatever is possibly backfiring. So he's being forced into a situation where if he does really want to make some money, the fight for Undisputed is the only fight to make. I didn't even care for Fury versus Anthony Joshua, especially since Joshua no longer has the belts. It was kind of like, okay, well, I mean, hey, that's not the fight to make. Yes, it's a good fight still. I still will watch it, but it's just not the fight to make anymore. So it wasn't the fight to make anymore at the time that he was still trying to fight him. And I understand the money would probably still be really good because Anthony Joshua, whether he's a champion or not, he's going to make money. That dude's going to continue to make money till he retires, as long as he still, does what he's been doing, and he's still young enough to put himself. Well, actually, he's still in the distance for, close distance to get into a championship again if Fury and Usyk plays out and they decide to do whatever they're going to do. Probably maybe retire after they fight each other and get those belts back in the air, and Anthony Joshua be set for another championship challenge for a belt. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this fight. We will see what happens. Like I said, if it happens, that would be great. They say they signed contracts apparently, so that's cool, but you got a lot of time between now and the fight happening for things to change. So like I said, that's why I'm kind of just sitting here watching, what's happening and kind of keeping a close eye on everything, just not getting my hopes up too much. I mean, it's good that they at least acknowledge the fight possibly happening. That's a great thing to me. I think it's a great fight for the sport. I think right now I'm calling 50-50. I like Usyk more, but Fury he's a good fighter, but he does have issues with shorter fighters and southpaws, which should be interesting, with Usyk being probably the best southpaw in the heavyweight division right now that I've seen. I don't know if there's somebody that we can say is better, but I mean, Usyk is the unified champion of the division, so that should say enough. And we do know that Fury has admitted in the past that he doesn't prefer fighting southpaws, or actually no, he doesn't prefer fighting smaller guys in the heavyweight division, which you take what you want out of that. I think he does struggle more with smaller guys, which it makes sense when it comes to styles. So yeah, it's a good fight. Yeah, man. Let's see what happens. I guess I was gonna keep this one short. Ain't much I gotta say about something that I can't really, yes, it's confirmed that it's been announced, and that's pretty much it. So it's not really much more to get into. So yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed that this fight goes on, and the Ngannou fight doesn't affect anything as far as the possibilities of the fight happening. It doesn't take any possibilities away or anything like that, because we know the Ngannou fight is still this year, I believe in October, and they're talking about making the undisputed fight in the end of December or early January, I believe I saw. And I mean, that's not even much time between those two fights, so that's a lot of building that Tyson Fury is going to have to do just on his own part between those two fights. It would make people want to watch him fight MMA fighter and jump right to an undisputed fight. That's a lot going on. That's a lot to ask for, especially when you're dealing with paying customers. If the Ngannou fight doesn't deliver the way that it should, that could affect the undisputed fight. You know, that could be pretty costly in a negative way to this undisputed fight. So, and watching Ngannou, I seen a video of Ngannou sparring, and I don't know if he's just like kind of playing possum and not trying to show everything on video or whatever, but from what I saw, it don't look like this fight is going to be very entertaining. It don't look like it's going to go very long. It don't look like Ngannou really has it for Fury to really be much of a challenge. And that could be an issue when coming into this undisputed fight at the end of the year. It could be. It could possibly not even matter. Because, you know, hardcore fans like me just want to see the undisputed fight. I'm not watching Ngannou and Fury. I'm not watching that fight. There's no reason to watch it. It's not even for, it's not WBC ranked. It ain't nothing for boxing. It's literally just some pastime as far as I'm concerned. They say it's a tune-up. They try to say it's a tune-up fight for Fury. It's not even a tune-up fight as far as I'm concerned. A tune-up fight is fighting another boxer. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gotta be top, you know, top 10 and nothing like that. Normally, I don't think a tune-up fight is necessarily a top 5, top 10 guy, if you want to be honest. It's just literally a tune-up fight, a keep busy fight until you get to your big fight. That's what it's supposed to be. But things do happen in those fights too that could be detrimental to the future of a boxer as well, especially a champion. So, anyways, man, y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know if y'all think this fight is really happening, if it's really going to happen this year or early next year. You know, let me know what y'all think about the fight. Who y'all got winning? You know, by how many rounds, all that good stuff, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and share, and all that good shit. Holla at your boy, Trouble T. Roy. Don't get hit boxing talk. All right, y'all. Peace.